Hi, my name is John Wiggins, and welcome to The Moderator. Today we have on the show Mr. William Bug Mason, who is running for Metro Council in District 1. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today, sir?
Wonderful, wonderful.
I'm glad you can make it on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay. Well, I want you to give us a little bit of history about Mr. William Bug Mason and what has made you or prompt you to want to run for office.
Well, I grew up right there in Bordeaux, went to Kings Lane, Ewing Park, Whites Creek, and on to Tennessee State University. I'm a native Nashvilleian. One of the things that have made me want to run for Metro Council is that I've lived in that district for over 30 years. And this is a pivotal time in our community. And I want to make sure that we have leadership that is transparent and leadership that is results driven. And I want to make sure that I'm the person and I'm a leader that they can believe in. Okay.
Okay. So you said that you did grow up in Nashville?
Yes, sir.
Or in particular that district area 1?
Yes, sir.
Where you grew up. Okay. So what school did you go to in District 1?
I went to Kings Lane, which is now called Robert E. Lillard, but it was Kings Lane at the time when I went there. I went to Ewing Park. Ewing Park no longer exists. Right. It's now offices for Metro Nashville Public Schools. And then Whites Creek, the only high school in Nashville. I'm a Cobra, graduated in '93, and then on to Tennessee State University, go Big Blue.
Okay, so when you, of course, when you graduated, were you in any particular sports or any particular?
I was in the
area?
band.
You was in the band?
Yes, sir. I was in the band at Whites Creek, Band of Distinction under the direction of Robert Churchwell, and then on to Leonard Morton. He took over after Robert Churchwell retired, and then I moved on to Tennessee State University, and I was a member of the Aristocrat of Bands.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes.
Okay, was that an experience that you would cherish for life?
It's an experience I would cherish for life. I got to perform before 70,000 people, perform at professional football games and things of that nature. It's an experience I'll never forget.
So what was one of the most memorable events of your Aristocrat life?
I got to meet Warren Moon.
Did you?
Yes, we were on the sideline for the New Orleans, not New Orleans, but for the Oilers game, and Warren Moon was there, and I got a chance to talk with him.
Wow.
So that was an experience of a lifetime.
So upon graduation from TSU, what was your next step in life?
From TSU, I went on to Head Start, where I was a program manager for the second largest Head Start program in the Head Start cluster, Richland Head Start. And from there, I went on to the Tennessean, where I was in marketing for the Tennessean. I ran the newspaper ad called Career Builder Weekly. So I was in marketing for them for about 3 or 4 years, and then I felt the urge to get back into education and went back to my roots, which was teaching.
Okay, so you were initially a veteran educator for over 10 years of teaching?
Yes,
is that
sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
And were you teaching in what particular area?
I've taught every grade level. I've taught from pre-K, which was Head Start, through high school. So I've run the gamut. Coached middle school basketball and was athletic director at Bailey Middle School and the boys basketball coach there at Bailey Middle School. And then now I teach at Carter Lawrence Elementary Magnet.
Okay, so you are still teaching?
Yes, sir.
It's your profession?
Yes, sir.
So you were very instrumental in being mentoring for the kids?
Yes, sir. That's my passion. That's my heart. That's the gift that God gave me to work with young people.
Okay. So growing up, obviously you still like working with kids and everything.
Yes.
So as you were growing up, tell us a little bit about your past and what the name Bug came from.
Oh, man. That's a name that my father gave me when I was younger. I was a junior. I'm William Mason Jr. So my father called me Junebug. And as I got older, the June dropped off and Bug remained. So that's what everybody in Nashville knows me as Bug. So it just stuck. Some people don't even know my real name. They just know me as Bug.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
You can go through elementary through high school and no one knows your real name.
Right.
Until you graduate and you're walking across the stage. Oh, that's his real
That's his
name.
real name.
It's amazing. So, as being a mentor, have you seen anything changes in the youth of today that was maybe not as prevalent when you were growing up?
Well, sure. You know, times change, people change. I'm also a youth minister at the Temple Church. So working with youth, that's something that I do on a daily, weekly basis. And some of the problems that face our youth today are things that we maybe didn't have to deal with growing up. The drugs that they use, the drugs of choice that they use are much harsher than the drugs that we had growing up. The issues with family are much more difficult than what we had to deal with growing up. So these young people are dealing with some issues that are foreign to us, but some of the things are the same. Some of the basic things are still the same.
Did this encourage you to become more involved in community activities, or?
Definitely, definitely.
What are some of the community programs that you're involved in?
Well, currently I am the director of the summer program at the Temple Church. That is something that I do for our community. I do that on a yearly basis during the summer months. That is what I commit my time to. I was recently the COO of a program called Stronger Than My Father, which was a male mentoring program. So I did that until I decided to run for Metro Council. But those are some of the things that I put my hands into and put my heart into. And I'm over the youth council at the Temple Church. So those things keep me busy, keep me involved with the youth, and keep my hand on the pulse of the community.
Okay. So are there other involvement that you are, well, community events that you're involved in, such as the, I believe it's one of them called the Bordeaux Business Coalition and the Bordeaux North Chamber of Commerce?
Yes, yes. Those are two organizations that I'm a member of that are right there in the Bordeaux community. And I work with those organizations just to kind of keep our hands on what is going on in our community, making sure that we have quality businesses that we are bringing into our community, businesses that will add to our community and not take away. And then with the Bordeaux North Chamber of Commerce, that is with Judge Rachel Bell and Mr. David Walker. And what that is, that's an organization that is put forth to help with the beautification as well as the businesses in our community to make sure that we have quality in our community.
Okay. How long has that been in existence?
Okay, the Bordeaux North Chamber of Commerce has been in existence for about a year now.
About a year?
And then the Bordeaux Business Coalition has been in existence for maybe about 2 to 3 years.
Okay. So if you're wanting to know more about the Bordeaux Coalition, how would one get information about them?
Well, for the Bordeaux North Chamber of Commerce, you would contact Judge Rachel Bell or David John Walker.
Okay.
Either one of those individuals.
Okay. So as you were growing up and you, of course, got involved in a lot of mentoring projects and your interest in the community, but what sparked you to want to run for council?
Well, as a 30-year resident of our area, I see that our area has been deprived of development. It's been deprived of sustainability, infrastructure, things of that nature to make us a viable side of town. You know, we have to travel outside of our area for shopping, for restaurants, for anything that's, you know, of substance for us. So we want to make sure that we can bring some businesses in our community that we can support and that bring to our community and don't take away from our community. And I think that I know what we need in our area.
Okay. Could you name some of the things that you feel would be the most helpful to our community?
One of the things I would like for us to have, and one of the things that on the campaign trail that I've heard from a lot of constituents, is that they want sit-down restaurants. They want a place where they can go and just enjoy their family and have a nice meal, where they don't have to travel up Briley Parkway or travel to White Bridge Road and different places like that just to get a sit-down meal. Another thing I think that we need is urgent care right there in our community, something to help with families who have young children that might break their leg or might be sick or anything like that. You don't have to travel so far just to get to an emergency room or to a hospital just to get some care. So those are some things I want to see come to our area that will help uplift our area and make our area a great place to live.
Are there presently any medical facilities in the Bordeaux area?
No, no, sir.
So, so if you break a leg, you're shot, you're going to have to be medevaced out, or you're going to have
Right,
to
you have to travel a
make
great
way.
distance. You have to
Travel
go
great
to
distance.
St. Thomas Hospital, or you have to go, which is near the
Skyline.
Vanderbilt area, off of West End.
Right.
You have to go to Metro General Hospital, which is down there off of DB Tide. So it's just so far that you have to go just to get a little medical care.
So why do you think that that particular area has not been aligned with any other neighborhoods to receive the same type of infrastructure, like having busing or medical facilities or restaurants that are franchise labeled type of businesses?
Well, one of the things I think is an issue is rooftops. It is a beautiful side of town with acreage, large acreage lots. So there's not a lot of housing in that area. So development could come and, bring a lot more rooftops, which would sustain a sit-down restaurant or shopping and things of that nature. But we want to make sure the development that comes aligns with the character of our district and doesn't raise the property's value so high that it takes our current residents out of their homes. It prices them right out of their homes. We don't want that type of development. We want development that aligns with the character of our district and makes it beautiful, but also gives us that mass that we need in order to attract businesses to come to our area.
What area does the District 1 covers?
It covers Bordeaux, Jolton, Scottsboro, and some parts of Whites Creek.
Okay. Has any of those areas seen any major development?
Not currently, and there's some areas of our district that want to remain rural, and we want to respect that. And I, as a council person, I will respect that. Scottsboro wants to remain rural. Jolton wants to remain rural. Those areas want to keep the culture that they have, and I want to help them with that. But we also want to get some development in there that's going to help us attract those restaurants and those businesses that we need in that Bordeaux area.
We've been hearing a whole lot about the Nashville population beginning to expand at an exceeding rate. Some polls are showing that approximately from 50 to 80 people are moving into Nashville.
Right, a day.
A day.
Right.
Okay, how would that directly or indirectly affect District 1?
Well, we have the widening of Clarksville Highway that is coming around 2017, and we know that that is the infrastructure to lead to development. So we know that we're the last corridor leading into downtown. You can get from Bordeaux, District 1, to anywhere within 5 to 10 minutes. You jump right on Briley Parkway, you're at Opryland, you jump on Briley Parkway, you go straight down Clarksville Highway, you're into downtown Nashville. So it's really the last corridor that leads into downtown Nashville that hasn't been developed. So we know that people are coming, but we want to make sure that the development that comes aligns with the character of our district.
So as the Metro Council for District 1, what would be your top 3 priorities?
Well, one of the things I want to do is to protect our current neighborhoods, Scottsboro, Bordeaux, and Jolton, from industrial projects that we do not like that will affect our community. And one of those projects would be the compressor station, the gas compressor station that they're trying to put in Jolton. That will not only affect Jolton, but it will also affect all of the people in District 1. So those are one of the things that I want to fight and make sure that does not come into our community. Also, we want to ensure that our community is the Clarksville Highway widening is going to be coming in 2017. So I want to make sure that the widening of Clarksville Highway is conducive to businesses, quality businesses, and quality development in our area. And then we want to make sure the development that does come in our area aligns with the character of our district. We want to make sure the developers don't just take from our community, but they also add to our community by giving to our schools, by giving to the neighborhoods, and putting money back into our community. So those are the top 3 things that I think will ensure that we have a great community.
Are there any other particular events that are coming up or places where the public can come out and meet you?
Sure. There are going to be several forums that are going to be taking place in our community because this is a election year. They're going to be, NOAA is going to have a community forum which is going to be happening in July. So people can come out in July and hear some more about my platform and what I plan to do for our community.
Okay. Okay. The I've noticed that there are a lot of businesses coming into the neighborhood, such as finance companies that are coming into into our neighborhoods for pay loans.
Yeah, check cashing.
Check cashing loans that are coming into the neighborhood, and there are so many of them that they're beginning to, I guess, pretty much hurt the infrastructure of the people who are living there, because they're hurting people's pockets because they can't pay for things. Is that hurting the value of the neighborhood?
Right. Right. I definitely agree that we need to limit the amount of those that are able to come into our community, because they take advantage of the residents of our community. You know, it's a trap. Payday loans are a trap. Let's just call a spade a spade. Those are things that we do not want in our area, and I think that we have enough there. We don't want to limit anyone from opening a business, but those type of businesses we really want to limit.
In District 1, there's probably not very many of those in the neighborhoods. Probably not. But the surrounding neighborhoods are being affected by that. Now, if those neighborhoods that are outside of District 1 are building up, and District 1 is still trying to stay within the confines of a countryside, will the cost of the homes around the neighborhood affect how the taxes of District 1 have to pay
Not the
for?
surrounding areas, I don't think. Well, you're talking about Dickerson Road and areas like that. That won't directly affect our property values. But if you have things in that neighborhood, in the Bordeaux area, in the Scottsboro area, in the Jolton area, if you have those type of developments, yes, that will bring up the property value. And we're concerned about our senior citizens who have lived in their homes, and their home is their #1 investment. We want to make sure they're able to stay in their home, that their property value, their property taxes don't go so high that they're unable to live there because they're on a fixed income.
So how is gentrification affecting District 1?
It hasn't affected us as of now, but it's coming our way. So we want to guard against that. That is one of the reasons why I want to run for this seat, is so that I can protect and guard against gentrification taking over our community.
Okay. Being that Clarksville Highway is about to expand, that is pretty much a telltale sign that there is something coming down the pike.
Right.
Okay. So what do you see having to be done to slow the pulse of gentrification and being able to help the residents of District 1 to be able to keep their homes?
Well, keeping a close eye on the Planning Commission, finding out what developers are interested in our area, and once we find out what developers are coming into our area, developing a relationship with them and talking to them and letting them know what the people of our area want, bringing together community meetings and informing the public about what developers are planning to put there, and then if it's something that we do not want, then we protest against it.
Okay. Have you been able to communicate these ideals to the public?
Well, Sharon Hurt, who was our council person who was been assigned to us right now, she's been taking care of those things, and I've been helping her and you know, going to the meetings that she's been having in the community and staying abreast of it by going to the Planning Commission meetings as well as attending the Metro Council meetings. So I'm trying to stay abreast of what's going on and keeping my finger on the pulse of the community and what's coming down the pike.
Does the community seem to be aware of what's going on? I know a lot of times because of the residents having to work so many hours or just don't have time to really pay attention to the news and to the politics, that they have a tendency to be late in responding to new development that's taking place in our neighborhoods.
Right, but that's an issue that all neighborhoods, I'm sure, face, because you have an aging community. Communication is hard because they don't have email addresses, they're not on Facebook, so you have to find a conducive way to communicate with them. And one of the things that we're able to use is the community organizations that we have in place. They have a phone tree. We can tell them, hey, you're responsible for calling this amount of people. We're going around in the community and putting flyers on the doors. We're doing different ways that we can reach the people and have them come out to the community meetings. So you just kind of got to switch up the way you try to communicate to your constituents.
Has that been successful in the, I guess, in the areas such as District 1, where you got, like I said, a lot of elderly people now who just don't have Wi-Fi.
Right.
Or they still have the hi-fi, but they don't have Wi-Fi.
Right, right.
So how do you get to those people?
Well, like I said, you canvass the community.
Mhm.
You display notices on different places in the community that people frequent, such as the YMCA's, such as the Kroger store, such as the library, things of that nature. You kind of put information out there that way, and you also have to just put your feet to the pedal and to the sidewalk and just go out there and pass out flyers and put them on doors.
Okay. So what are your I guess you say your siblings or your immediate family think about you deciding to run for office?
They are completely supportive of it.
Okay.
Yes, they are completely supportive of it.
So when you first mentioned it to them, they said, "Dad, what are you doing?"
No, my sons, they kind of know that this is my dad's thing. They know that this is something that I've been prepared for. My church family has been extremely supportive of me. I was actually talking to one of the deacons at my church, Deacon Johnson, at a community meeting. He pulled me over to the side and he told me, he said, "Bug, you've been prepared for this your whole life." And he said, "Walk in your destiny. So this is what I'm going to do. They've poured into me, and I'm going to now show what they have invested in me is now coming to fruition."
Okay. So when is this big day coming to run for office and to vote?
Okay, well, early voting is going to be July 15th through the 30th, and then election day, the big day, is going to be August the 4th.
Okay. All right. Is there anything that you would like to tell the audience about William Bug Mason?
Well, I just want everyone out there to know that I am the candidate. I want to be that one that you believe in. I want to make sure that our community is protected. I want to make sure that I am transparent and that I bring all information to you first. And I want you to help me to be the best council person that this city has ever seen.
So with the three projects that you have, or the main three topics that you have that just mentioned, if we wanted to contact you again about that, or any one of your other constituents, we can still reach you again at what location?
You can reach us on our website, which is williambugmason.com, or you can reach me right here on my hip. You can call me at 615-275-7361. I would love to take your call and talk to you about any issues that you might have in our area.
Okay. Well, we're definitely looking forward to seeing you in the voting booth.
Yes.
And hopefully everything works out well for you. And thank you again for coming on the show, Mr.
Yes, sir.
William Bug Mason.
Thank
It's
you.
nice meeting you.
Yes, sir.
And once again, thank you for watching The Moderator. My name is John Wiggins, and have a good night.